This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore. In a time when consequence and punishment for misdeeds and wrongdoings and attempted overthrows of our government, insurrections and failed coups, when the norm is a lack of consequence, a good day is when the needle moves just a little bit. And that's what we're witnessing this week. There's been all kinds of news relative to the events of January 6th and the investigation by the House Select Committee. And further, movement on the part of Joe Biden, who has now a second time asserted that he will not allow Donald Trump executive privilege, because he is the current sitting president, the only one who can assert. A letter has been written to the National Archivist by way of Dana Remus, White House Communications Director, or White House Counsel, excuse me. I want to read from this. The CNN, this is an exclusive from CNN. Biden White House rejects more executive privilege claims by Trump. More of them. Again, Donald Trump is desperate right now because during his presidency, he was allowed to cover up, keep things secret through executive privilege. And now that he is the ex-president of the United States, he is not able to do that any longer. And the current sitting president is not going to allow him to continue to tear down the country. Vitally important documents are going to be made public, or at the very least allowed to be transmitted to the House Select Committee investigating the failed coup attempt that Donald Trump spearheaded. And we're going to get to that. I'm going to do a second video today talking about that very thing that I'm not even going to get into it. You can find it in the next video. I'm going to read from this article. President Joe Biden has once again refused to assert executive privilege over more documents that ex-president Donald Trump has sought to keep out of the hands of the committee investigating the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol. According to a letter obtained by CNN, White House counsel Dana Remus informed National Archivist David Ferriero, I am certain that is not how to say his name, I apologize, David Ferriero on Monday, that Biden would not assert privilege over additional materials that Trump requested remain secret as a matter of executive privilege. Again, the question should be asked. This should be a constant refrain in the media. Why would Donald Trump want certain documents related to January 6th to remain secret? If he did nothing, if he played no role, if he actually cares about his duty, about his oath of office to faithfully execute the laws and the duties of President of the United States, then why, pray tell, why would he want these documents secret? Unless they shine a disparaging light on him and his cohort. The former president, the ex-president, has already filed a lawsuit to stop the National Archives, the custodian of his administration's White House records, from giving documents to Congress that he believes are privileged. And the latest documents will likely become part of that lawsuit. The National Archives is set to begin turning over records to the House on November 12th, unless Trump gets a court order, which is unlikely to happen. Quote, President Biden has considered the former president's assertion. I'm going to read the quote as is, even though he is the ex-president. And I have engaged in consultations with the Office of Legal Counsel at the Department of Justice, Remus wrote. President Biden has determined that an assertion of executive privilege is not in the best interests of the United States, and therefore is not justified. As to the documents provided to the White House on September 16, 2021, and September 23, 2021, accordingly, President Biden does not uphold the former ex-president's assertion of privilege. Remus quoted her earlier letter to the National Archives, highlighting the quote-unquote extraordinary events that day. The top White House lawyer also noted that Biden instructs the National Archives to provide the documents to the committee 30 days after notifying Trump, absent any intervening court order, which again is unlikely. The White House has informed the National Archives earlier this month that it would not assert executive privilege over an initial batch of documents requested by the January 6th committee. During a White House news briefing at the time, Press Secretary Jen Psaki said that the president has determined that an assertion of executive privilege is not warranted for the first set of documents from the Trump White House that have been provided to us by the National Archives. As we've said previously, this will be an ongoing process, and this is just the first set of documents, she said. And we will evaluate questions of privilege on a case-by-case basis. But the president has also been clear that he believes it to be of the utmost importance for both the Congress and the American people to have a complete understanding of the events of that day to prevent them from happening again, which is, of course, the most important thing in this, is an element at least, is the transparency side of this. What would it say of Joe Biden, the current sitting president of the United States, if he were to protect the former occupant of his office? A man who incited an insurrection against the United States government. What would it say about Joe Biden? That he is also not faithfully executing his duties or supporting and defending the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Lucky for us, that is not what he is doing. Joe Biden is doing the right thing by the country. Joe Biden is doing the right thing by way of Donald Trump, exposing the charlatan, grifter, clown shoe for what he is. As part of the House Select Committee's sweeping investigation, the panel has sent requests for information to a number of federal agencies. The committee has specifically asked for all documents and communications within the White House on January 6th, including call logs, schedules, and meetings with top officials and outside advisors, including Rudy Giuliani. Legal experts, and here is what I've been screaming since the very beginning of this deal, legal experts say Biden has the ultimate say over whether these documents are covered by executive privilege. And considering the committee is led by members of Biden's party, Trump's power to sway the outcome is an open question. It's not an open question. Donald Trump might be able to delay by using the justice system, by using the courts, but the truth will come out as it is today. There are, like I said, it's a trickle. But it feels good to get some movement toward consequence for Donald Trump and Rudy Giuliani and Steve Bannon and the rest of these idiots in Congress who took part in the planning and orchestration of a deadly insurrection and attempted overthrow of the United States government. The same United States government and the same Constitution that all of these people swore or affirmed to support and defend. Traitors, everyone. What do you think, though? I'd love to know. You can call, leave me a brief voicemail, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me daily at dollemore.com. Have you followed me on social media yet? When you say the same thing every video, you gotta find a different way to say it. Anyway, follow me on social media. I'm at Dollemore all the way across the board, everywhere that there is social media, pretty much, I think. And if I bring you a little bit of value, $1.99 worth at least, and it is within your financial means, you don't have to stretch or budget it in. My content's free. But if you'd like to support my work, you can go to patreon.com/IDoubtIt or you can do it right here on YouTube by clicking the join button below this video and looking into what it takes to become a channel member, supporting and producing my work. I love you guys. I will see you next time. Love to hear from you. Be genuine. Take care of one another.